We're building a camper.
So, not enough pallet boards. We went on a cruise today to try to find some free pallets. They weren't there anymore. We'll try after. It's the 4th of July weekend. There's some people selling or giving away pallets on Facebook Marketplace. So we'll attempt to source some more. But until then, we're going to keep on with what we have. So last night, we glued down this first row. That's the one that's a little bit thicker and it's got the cut in it. So we've glued that down and we're going to start. I'll wait for the noise. We're going to start gluing down the rest of it. So between a mix of glue and brad nails, we're going to get it down. We don't have the insulation in because technically the insulation is going to be thicker than the walls. And so, and not all of it fits super snug. We're going to have to do some like foam in the back of it. So right now we just took it out. We'll lay this down and then flip it over, put the insulation back in, sand it down so it's level, and then add some spray foam to fill in the cracks there. So
nailed it.
We have no idea how this is gonna go, but we're gonna go. We'll give it a try.
Should have done a practice wall first.
Yeah, we didn't do a practice wall first. We're letting you see the struggle. The struggle is real. And even setting this up is just, yeah, the struggle is real. Okay, so one thing is you have your tape measure because we need to make sure we have, what, 2 inches of overhang?
Yes.
2 inches of overhang because we'll have like, there'll be a 1/4 inch plywood for the interior.
1/8 inch.
1/8 inch plywood for the interior
ceiling.
And then our 2 inch spars, which will be 1.5 inches.
Yes.
And then another 1/8 inch plywood, and then aluminum on top of that.
Right.
So we figured we want this to overhang 2 inches, and then we'll have more to cut off.
Yep.
Okay.
It's the plan. It's gonna be fine.
It's gonna be fine.
Okay.
So I can pull like a couple rows up.
Yep.
And then we can just like brad nail or glue, brad nail, glue, brad nail. So can I glue? What?
And then let's use what's on the knife too to do this whole edge.
Oh yeah.
So get something to glue against here.
The edge. I would have forgot to glue the edge.
That's why we're a team.
Because that's teamwork. What's that from? That's like has to be from something, isn't it?
It's lost to time. At this
okay.
point. We've just been saying it for 12 years, so now it's just...
We have been. Okay, is that good?
Yep.
Are you happy with that?
I'm satisfied.
You'll never be satisfied. You'll never be satisfied. Oh yeah, this one will definitely need some brad nails to...
It's good.
It's a little wobbly.
Should start thinking too. Maybe we don't cover the boards. Maybe we start just putting it on the pallets
I don't know what you mean by that.
instead of applying
Oh,
the glue.
the glue, because it's not.
Because we're gonna have lots of bigger gaps now than when we did the first row.
Why didn't we? You think that'd be obvious?
Edit this part out.
We are not thinking today. Okay, well,
We're tired.
super tired. thought you were gonna Brad nail it.
I'm working on it.
Okay. I don't know why you're bothering with the clamps then.
Because I need it to hold the board down tight. The brad nails won't pull it tight.
Brad nails won't
keep
pull
it
it
where
tight.
it's at.
Okay.
Fair?
Fair.
So I'm clamping it to pull it tight to the row before it, to pull it down to the thing I want to clamp it to. Trust the process.
Well, just playing dumb for the sake of our viewers.
Oh!
So they can hear the madness to our method.
Just trying to watch too as I take clamps out to make sure it's not trying to pull up or do anything stupid. I almost want to go slow just to give the glue as much time to start to set.
Oh, I just want to get it done.
Yeah, and that's why we work differently, don't we?
Alright, if it makes you feel better, I'll take this time to, like, go check on Jude.
That would
Does that
make
help?
me feel a little bit better.
I'm gonna try to get some of this glue off. Alright, so James wants to go slower as we're gluing this all down and give it a little bit of time with the clamps. But I want to keep moving as well. So we have enough boards where we can do like the front section of this for sure. So we're going to kind of do a board over here and then a board over here and then go back over here. And that way we feel like we're still moving while giving things time. We'll see how it works.
It's perfect. That's how it works.
Perfect is how it works. I like the confidence. Oh yeah, we gotta measure it first. Oh.
All of a sudden it's
I feel like this is like the theme for me. It's like, what's the next step? This, all right,
go.
let's go. And then it's like, I forget about all the prep work. Like, it's tedious. Like, even just getting this part set up took days, just between figuring out how we want to lay the walls flat, if we have enough stuff to make them level, how are we gonna, will they fit in the garage?
And one of us is fine with that.
And then, yeah, one of us is fine with that. What are you doing there, James?
Just hanging out. We have big openings where we're putting foam instead of 3/4 inch plywood, and our boards aren't perfect. So they want to do this and all the things, and I can clamp it as we go, but to try and keep them level in the spot where there's no support, I put one of my stands underneath with a piece of wood, just so it has a hard surface to push again, and then hopefully keep them flushed long enough to dry, and then they'll hold. So. All right, so we got this wall, all the boards glued down. Kristen did all the wood filler and did a bunch of sanding last night. I need to cut out some stuff. I'm gonna cut out our door, trim that open, trim back what we need for the wheel well, trim out what we need for our side vents, and the hole for the shore power plug. So for the wheel well, I've got my template that I'm going to trace out. The door will be easy. The 2 holes that are hidden, I'm just going to drill from the back side, drill a starting hole, and then I'm going to do it with a flush trim router bit. It's basically, that'll ride on the already pre-cut hole. This bearing will ride on that and keep me from cutting into that bottom board. and then this top layer of boards will get trimmed off and make it flush.
Okay, I have a little bit of time this morning. I'm going to do a trial run of finding the possible color that we want to dye our outside pallet board walls. And I'm using this dye kit. Oops, I put this on top of my measuring spoon. Sorry. I'm using this dye kit because we were just planning on staining them. But then I was reading in this Facebook group that I joined and have really been enjoying, DIY Teardrop, and someone else had asked about staining before fiberglassing, and I had never even thought about asking, and someone mentioned that you shouldn't stain or paint before fiberglassing because like the water seal part of it messes with the fiberglass, and so they recommended dyeing it or finding a stain that like doesn't do the water seal part. So I bought this dye kit, and I'm mixing some of the yellow and the brown here to see maybe if we can get a color we like. I kind of want like some sort of golden yellow honey color. I'm not sure exactly what we're going to get or exactly how to do this. So okay, attempt to dye wood, round 2. This time I started with just like some of the brown and added a little bit of yellow. I still didn't really like how pale that was. And I got to this point here and was like, that's pretty good. Just kind of put it on heavy, a couple coats. Then I was like, okay, I'm happy with that. I was like, but I got time to play a little bit. What if I just added like a little bit of red? So again, mainly brown, a little bit of yellow. Added the red and got these lovely tones. And I think I like this the best. I didn't mix it very well. Got a little bit of some actual red streaks in here. But this is what I'm thinking. Now, do I know exactly how I mixed it? No, but I think I can get close. So when we get the walls up, we'll try to get that again. So this is the dye kits that we're mixing with. We'll see what we can do. Okay, let's give this a try. Real deal. Mixing some dye for the wall. It's this Kita dye. I'm following some of the tips they have here. So in each of these jars here, I have about 16 ounces of water in each. And it kind of tells me how much dye would be good for water. So when I was testing, I wanted to start more brown. So I'm going to do 1/4. Of course, I didn't like write down or record what I actually did last time, but I'm going to do about 1/4 teaspoon of brown in both. I might have to buy more. So I said I did mostly brown. Well, maybe I should have just mixed one first. Oh well. Let's see. There's my mixer. No. Sorry, James is talking to me about where I am in the frame. I know it's not great, but it's all I got for this little corner of the garage. If he has any helpful suggestions, let it be known. He's got nothing. Okay. Then do less of a fourth of yellow. Sorry, excuse my sniffles. I've been congested with allergies. You know what, just in case, a little bit more yellow. Hard to tell. Yeah, I got this Kita dye pack that's like 5 of their stains. So I got the brown, yellow, red, this black, which I kind of played around with. It didn't help. And then this blue. We're planning on making our own doors, and I'm almost tempted to dye them blue. We'll see what happens. Okay, so I mixed up the other jar similar to the first one.
Mix a lot over there.
No. Get out of my shot. So I mixed up the second jar similar to the first. Mixed them both in here. And we'll give this a shot. To prep this, well, James did some cutting that he forgot to video because I wasn't out here, and that happens. But we'll get that video on the second wall. But we sanded it, and then last night we actually got the whole thing wet with hot water, which was one of the instructions, is to get it fully wet with hot water and then let it dry. So we let it dry, and then it wants you to sand it again, which is actually good because like one of the boards, it kind of like popped up some of the wood filler. But sanded it again, and then we cleaned it all off really well. So that's what we did to prep this. We didn't film that because it was pretty boring. All right, I'm going to start down here because some of this will be under the trailer. Yeah, I think that's the color I want. Okay. I have no idea like how far this is going to go, like how much more I'll need. It's all an experiment. Okay, so it's been a little bit, it's hard to like decide how to track and record and show you the time in between progress, but this part's been slow. I know we say that a lot, but I'm pretty sure I showed you us staining this. James forgot to video him, oh hi puppy, cutting off the end that we're going to use as like a side of the hatch. We were hoping it would stay glued together. It did not. So it fell apart. And these are the pieces and this. And we had traced the curve. So we need this section as we're doing that modified Frederick's hatch. So this will be like the side of our hatch. It'll make sense when we make the hatch video. But the pieces did not stay glued together. So we're gluing them back together. Otherwise, we finally have enough wood to finish this wall, and that's what James is doing, is finishing gluing it together, and hopefully we'll get that done soon, and then we can stain this wall as well and get to fiberglassing sometime. Well, I'll go because he's going to turn on the air compressor. It's going to be loud. Can you say, we're building a teardrop?
We truly made a poopy.
That's not it. Can you say, we're building a teardrop?
I can't say that.
No, okay.
We're building a camper.